Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about romance and anime movies and TV shows. Today we'll be talking about the Korean drama, romance drama, Kim and Cha, right? So Kim is the guy and Cha is the girl. I'm using the first names because if I use the other names, I'll absolutely butcher them and that won't be good. So I'm just gonna use their first names, right? So this movie is basically a romance movie about a CEO and a guy who works for the CEO, right? I never get tired of these Korean dramas where there's a super rich female and like a poor guy, not a poor guy, but not as rich as the girl. Because you have so many movies where the guy's rich, and you're like, well, we've kind of ran through all that. But it's right the opposite way around. There's a couple of movies where the girl's rich in the Korean dramas, so it's one of my favorite ones. Right? One of my favorite Korean dramas. I've watched it like twice, 3 times. Right, so basically the story starts off with Kim. He's in Cuba, right? So he's enjoying his vacation. He worked like all summer or like a year, doing some different jobs, saving money to go to Cuba before he starts like working full time, right? But he came out of college, worked, and now he's in Cuba doing his vacation before he starts working for real. So he goes to Cuba. He's just there having a good time, right? And then Cha is there for business, but she runs hotels. So she has one in Seoul, and then Korea, and then there's one in Cuba, right? So she goes to the Cuban one just for business, and then she's like, you know what, I'm gonna explore the city. So she walks the city, going there, here and there. Then she gets lost, right? And then she's on a bridge, right? And then like not water, but like a high place, and then below there's like a cement. So she almost falls, and then Kim comes and saves her. They have a great time together. What are the odds you meet somebody from the same country who's like female and he's male, right? So I guess that's another lucky roll. So anyway, they go to Cuba. They they walk barefoot in the streets. They they go to like tango club. They dance. They share some memories, moments, right? Life is about moments. You make some great moments, and though that was a fantastic moment, right? So they have a great moment there, and then so they have to go back to Korea, right? So they're scheduled to meet before they leave, but then they couldn't be able to meet each other. They get on the plane, so they go back to their own place. So she goes doing her thing, and goes doing his thing, right? So I'm like, all right, oh, there's no way they're gonna meet each other again. Impossible. Well, there is a way. He ends up working at the same company she runs. She owns the hotel, right? But he works in a different sector, right? So on the first day, right? So she's walking, and then no, she's walking. So she was doing a presentation, right? And then she looks around, and they lock eyes, and then she's like stunned for like 5-10 seconds. And she's like, what are the odds, right? But I like that moment where they look in each other's eyes, and there's a moment in time there. Beautiful, right? And at that point, there's no real feelings they have for each other. And then we skip on. They see each other in the hallway. They have a moment there as well. So the story goes on that they keep meeting each other. Like was in Cuba. The Kim tells her about his favorite place in the world, right? And then also on the resume, she takes out his resume. Yeah, I think she likes him. I mean, why would you go for the trouble of finding someone's resume if you don't really like them? But anyway, so she takes the resume. She learns about the place that he likes the most in the world. So she goes there, and then they meet there. But he lives at that place, and they have a moment. They play like that game, the one where you pick the claw. I guess where you pick up things, and you can pick up you use a claw to pick up the things in the machine, right? So they play that game. Then he doesn't win, and then she does. He's pretty mad about that, and then it goes on like that where they meet each other. Like she's like, I'm trying like noodles, right? So they go to a noodle place. Someone takes a picture of them, and then so Cha has also side stories where ex-husband is always there. Causing a problem, so is the ex-stepmom, not stems, ex-stepmom in law. I don't know, the mother of the ex-husband is also causing a problems. So Kim saves her, so that was great. One of my favorite parts was when he goes to like a dinner, right, where they like a welcome party, right? He goes to a welcome party, and then he gets absolutely drunk, like completely drunk, right? And then Charles sees him, and then he picks him up and takes him home, right? And then he force feeds her like squid. And I'm like, I don't know about that one, mate. That's a bit dodgy, and it's just super funny. You guys should definitely watch that part. It's pretty funny. My other favorite parts was when so it's her birthday, right? And she's like pretty rich. She can probably buy anything anytime she wants anyway. So he buys her like lipstick, right? So he wants to give her. So he does the two hands and like gives her thing, and she's like, "Nah, I don't want any of that." And let's be honest, I don't want to give you the wrong impression. I don't really like you that way and everything. So it's again a great moment, right? So he's leaving like a puppy, like in the rain, and she's like, yeah, "Okay, come back. I'll take the lipstick." I was like, "Okay." That was a great part as well. Then another part is when they go to like a art museum, right? And then they see the artworks, and he was like, "No, I'll take you to a museum," right? So he takes her to the museum, and it's just like paintings on the wall of the bridge and everything. I was like, well, technically you're right, but are you though? So they do that and everything. So that was a great part as well. So I mean, so many great parts that happens in this show, really. There's another part where like she was working outside of the city, right? So he goes to visit her to try his best to get her and everything, right? And I like this game they play because I also tried this on a date as well. So I got it. TV shows can be used in movies too, guys, right? So basically you go at the beach, right? So you take sand into a pile. You put like a stick in the middle, right? Like a little bit. And then the goal is you have to remove sand, but if the stick falls, the person who lasted it loses, right? So that was the thing. So I did that as well. That was nice. I enjoyed the game. I did that. One of my favorite moments as well. You guys should try it. Like on a date, you try to play that game as well. But you put like stipulations where like if I win, you do this. But if you win, I do this. So I think that was a great one as well. But I feel like Kim was trying way too hard to get her. Really, he was like doing beyond what's needed, going this, doing that. Like, I just gotta calm down, bro. You just need to relax. You gotta take a chill pill a little bit. I mean, if she likes you, she likes you. If she doesn't, she doesn't, right? But he ends up getting to her, and they end up being together and everything, sharing great moments and stuff. But I don't know what really grinds my gears. What really bakes my biscuits a little bit is when they're together and they break up. I'm like, this is a 16 episodes, right? 1 hour each. But do we have time for this, honestly? So they break up because Kim's mom tells her that, oh, you shouldn't date my son. He's very impressionable. You just leave him alone. Just do your own thing. So they break up. But then Kim is heartbroken. They're both heartbroken, right? I don't know why they did it. I guess actually add more episodes. I don't know, just to run the time down. But they end up getting back together, and I like when at the end, like Kim and she Cha is very rich, right? She's super rich, and then instead of like buying out or going to restaurants, she just goes to Kim's mom's parents and eat their food. And I like the part where the mom and dad are discussing, like, what? She's super rich, right? Why don't we just charge her for all this food, right? We would make some money. She's like, yeah, it's a good idea, yeah. Because they sell oranges, right? So that was pretty nice to see that in terms of the way that they showed that. Really, that was pretty interesting. But this show was great. I mean, honestly, I think it's an 8.5. The start to finish was great. It's slow at times, right? Sometimes it drags a point where like it doesn't need to drag it that long, but otherwise I really like this show. Recommend you guys watch it. Really, it's really good encounter, right? Just give it a watch. You guys tell me what you guys think in the comments. I'll leave you to it.